4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
Softly spoken, diminutive, and a real titan, an intellectual giant with a rap artist following. That in a nutshell is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, otherwise and more recently known as Notorious RBG. Hero, icon, dissenter. At age 85, the US Supreme Court Associate has built an impressive legal legacy as a pioneer in gender equality. RBG explores the inspiring and unique personal journey of this warrior's rise to America's highest court and her impact along the way, changing the rules, shaping the laws, and becoming an unexpected pop culture icon. It was in January 2015 that directors Betsy and Julie Cohen first had the idea of making a feature documentary about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They had each separately interviewed the Justice for projects in the past and had both admired her trailblazing work for women's rights. But that was before she'd broken out as the octogenarian rock star, with millennials extolling her virtues on Twitter and Tumblr, stocking up on RBG t-shirts and tote bags, and in extreme cases, getting tattoos of her face. Talking about the RBG phenomenon one day, they turned to each other and said, "We need to make a documentary about Justice Ginsburg right now." Working with a team of women in the top creative and executive roles, they began filming in June 2016, doing their best to keep up with the Justice's hectic schedule. They filmed her in her office, on holidays with her family, and working out with her personal trainer. They also started tracking down the dramatic stories of the clients she represented as a young lawyer, arguing before the Supreme Court in the 1970s. At that time, it was perfectly legal to discriminate on the basis of sex. RBG's brilliant legal strategy resulted in 5 groundbreaking rulings that made great strides towards putting women on an equal footing with men before the law. Ginsburg married a fellow legal eagle, a man with a delightful sense of humour and her biggest champion. With his push and her turn of phrase, into her 60s, she became only the second woman to be appointed to the US Supreme Court.
You're listening to Movies First. For more, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Her dynamism and remarkable work ethic are showcased magnificently in this moving, extremely well-made documentary. We see snippets of her life in bygone days and now as we build a picture of a formidable force who stands up for and champions equality. The doco casts a bright light on her through interviews with her 2 children, granddaughter, friends, colleagues, and even the former US president that anointed her. As can only be expected, they sing her praises, but it's how they do so that helps separate her from so many other distinguished minds. And the documentary makes a point of highlighting her growing appeal late in life and how she particularly resonates with young people. She approaches everything with a ferocity of spirit and intent that would be the envy of most. She cares, she's passionate. Her oratory and judgments are inevitably compelling. Always considered, she doesn't waste a word. Just watching RBG, the doco, makes you stand tall proudly, or at least sit up in your seat and pay the utmost attention. What a life Ruth Bader Ginsburg has led and continues to lead. What a special human being. RBG scores an 8.5 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First. Subscribe to the full podcast at Audioboom, Stitcher and iTunes, or your favourite podcast distributor. This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.